we are once again in Heaven's Vault. Welcome back. This is episode 19 in our series. I have no idea how far we are through this. I can't lie. I have no sense of where we are in this. We could be halfway through. We could be 3/4 of the way through. I think we're beyond the early stages now, but who knows what things will open up to us. Like, we're doing well with the language. I'm kind of assuming the end game or the near end game is going to be finding this observatory that Rembar found. But I'm unsure. Anyway, we are here at the Withering Palace, which is something we've been on the hunt for, in a way, since very early on in our run. And now we're finally going to explore it. We're kind of in a bit of a sandstorm, so we're safe inside the palace, but outside the palace it's a bit crazy. So let's kick straight off and get into it. Remark. It couldn't be more different than the graveyard we found before. Yeah, it's a tomb, by the way. It's some kind of tomb.
The room was filled with rows and rows of books.
We love books. So this is a library. A palace of knowledge. Withering as paper withers? Perhaps, mistress. It's an interesting theory. Seems a bit of a stretch, however. Remark. The hologram I saw in the graveyard said there was an orangery here. How could anyone grow oranges in this? Assuming we found the right place, something must have changed. Alright, let's start looking at stuff. Starting with this thing on the floor. There's ancient here. Lots of it. Oh my god, this is going to be such a boon of language. Here we go. This is the language episode. This is one end of a fragment. Alright, Emperor. Something. And something. Passive. It's very similar to the Emperor symbols, isn't it? Okay. Emperor. Something. And circuits. We don't know circuits. I think we're going to find out whether or not circuits is right. Been a while since we did circuits. And okay, I think my translation for circuits isn't right. Okay. Passive verb. Similar to speak, but passive. So, ordered, maybe? It's not exactly the same as... Still windy. It's not exactly the same as speak, because it doesn't have this little thing after it, and I can't remember how the passive fits in, but I'm going to say ordered. It's weird, isn't it? Looking at the way this sentence plays out, Emperor ordered and Emperor ordered. It could be spoke, but spoke is past tense. Spoke isn't passive. Like spoken to is passive. Ordered. Emperor ordered. Like, actually, in terms of sentence structure, you wouldn't put a passive verb after the subject like this, would you? So, in case you don't know what I mean, I thought, right, I'm gonna go slightly off piste and go a bit meta. I was thinking about this in the shower the other day because I kind of spoke a little bit about it in another video, and there is the struggle of trying to explain things from me to the audience, and making the assumption of what the level of communication is between you in terms of what our shared knowledge is, right? And I get caught between over explaining things. If you make the presumption, if I say, okay, I'm going to assume you, the audience, know nothing of the grammatical terms I'm talking about. And so I'm going to explain everything from that principle, which could work. And so my worry there is that if I do that, I am condescending to you. And there's ways around that. Like if me explaining to you that I'm going to explain things from first principle as if you know nothing about grammar, blah blah blah, and talk to you like that. I don't want to talk as if I'm an expert on grammar talking down to you, but I'm just gonna so that I'm thorough, I'm going to explain everything from first principles. And the other end of the spectrum is I'm going to assume we all know the same stuff about grammar. We all learn grammar in school. Everybody knows everything. Everybody knows, passive tense, active tense, adjectives, adverbs, conjunctions, all that stuff. So I can talk in that language freely and assume you know what I'm talking about, which is kind of the opposite of condescending. It's like I'm assuming everyone knows everything about grammar that I know. And then I kind of exclude anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about. Hasn't, when I talk, it makes no sense. So I'm going to err towards the first principles style of talking. And hopefully, if you already know what I'm talking about, then you'll follow along happily. And I'll try not to what's the phrase? Teach your grandmother to suck eggs? I never really understood that as an idiom. Like a grandmother's notoriously good at sucking eggs. I don't know. Anyway, passive verb, as we've spoken about, it's something happening to you. So the active thing would be I lead something. I lead something along. I lead my dog. I lead an army. And the army is being led. The army is led. So the led is the passive. The leading is the active. So you wouldn't really have a passive verb here. Emperor ordered. This feels more like past tense. And I wonder now if there's... These are all, apart from that one, is quite past tense, isn't it? And I wonder if there is a... I wonder if there's a bit of a crossover between the way this language expresses past tense and the way the language expresses passive things in the passive tense. Because actually in English, they are very similar words a lot of the time. And I wonder if it needs this little doobly-doo afterwards to make it passive tense. And without that, it's past tense. So with that in mind, I'm going to say spoke. Emperor spoke. And let's go with robots. I think we might have thought this... I can't fully remember. I think we might have thought this symbol might indicate that we're talking about tools. Yeah, and this was the sort of symbol that had something to do with like, it made the pronoun it rather than me or you or they or whatever. This was the kind of almost like a non-personal bit of the pronoun. So if it's a tool that's not personal but is a person, because we think this symbol here relates to kind of personhood, like a being. So it's like a non-person being, robot. Right? So what did it? Emperor spoke and robots probably obeyed then. So we got law. Yeah. So robots kind of did the law. Robots. So this is doing, passive or past tense, did, law, obeyed. So the emperor spoke and the robots obeyed. And that makes sense as a sentence. Emperor spoke and robots obeyed. Robots really were in charge. That's not what that says. More evidence of robots being used here during the Empire. Question. Does the dust hurt you at all? My workings are well protected, mistress. I hope that does not disappoint you. All right, let's get on to the books. Books first. Books. Huang would love this place if he could make it through the dust. I am certain he could not. Let's take a book. The Chronicles of Mazwai. Oh, Huang would love that. It's the book Huang's always reading. There are something in the order of 600 copies of Mazwai on Iox, Mistress. But this one is not from Iox, Mistress. Alright, let's have a look at this book on the floor. If I can get to a place where I can click on it. There we go. More sequences of ancient. Yes, give it to me. Give me the ancient. There's a few words in this one. Okay, so this is very speak. This was from the verb to speak. And this kind of feels like people are not... So it's verb, speak but not speak. Sitting in silence, maybe. And it probably actually extends all the way to here, because this is going to begin the what, you, something. So I think what and you are the only things we can put in here. I believe I remember the word what, Mistress. And now, here we go. Okay, this is find. How is that the same? We think... Oh, God. This is fine, but I don't really understand why it's fine. There's a lot going on here. I don't understand what these symbols are. These are more speaky related, these symbols. Yep, speak. Speak, not speak. Or the opposite of speak. I think it's speak, not speak. Speak without speaking. Shiny, shiny. I think we thought this was shiny, shiny. The very, very abstract sense. I think we thought this was like shiny, shiny, glisten. So maybe illuminate. If you say something without saying it, you kind of shine a light on things. You show, you illuminate, right? So let's go with that. Illuminate what you... I mean, see makes the most sense, doesn't it? It's a verb. Not entirely sure what this means yet. Shiny, shiny, vision, light, see. Illuminate what you see. I'm going to stick it in and we'll see if anything else corroborates that later. Illuminate what you see. Okay. I'll try the door, but I do want to do some other stuff in this room first. Stuck fast. I believe the wood has warped in the frame, Mistress. All right, we'll come back to that door because it seems like there's some interesting things we can do. An open window. There's some kind of plaza back here with statues. Ooh. Lined with statues. They look like pieces of land laid out for a game. But if this is an Holy Empire site, the ancient gods shouldn't be here at all. The gods were torn down, destroyed by the Empire. Like the one on Elbereth. And there are no gods on Iox. So why are these gods here? Laid out reverentially. Good questions. Let's keep looking around the room. Let's look at the school papers. There is diagrams, but I can't tell what of. It's like Miari's desk back on Iox. There is some not timey-wimey stuff going on, but there is some kind of mystery around the timings of our history, I think, in this game, I say our history, you know, the fictional history of this game, that keep coming up, of like things not quite being right, things being out of sync with the way we understand the timeline. I wonder if I press tab, actually, it'll bring us up. Just updated. All right. Don't want that. Found written in an old book. That's fine. I want all. I want history now. Ancient libraries founded. That's not it. Anything here? Where do we think we are in time? Where do we think the Withering Palace fits on all this? I mean, this timeline thing is clever, but it's really hard to find stuff. What I want is, I want the menu at the top, and I want to be able to click on where we are right now. Can I do that? Nope. 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 Okay. This is the outline of a hopper source, mistress. It appears someone here was investigating ancient projectors. Question. Hopper sources? Anything to do with the recording I met in the graveyard? Perhaps, mistress. There's not enough here to be sure. Okay, another book. Another book's always good. The ink on this one is rum. Okay, those are not too exotic, those characters. Now this one is a phrase run together. Okay, so we've got robots again. I don't like to shove the word axe in there if I don't need to. Oh, this one was interesting. Yeah, the little passive 6 with the carrots on it. I can't remember what that meant. We've seen it before. I can't remember what we thought about it. Oh, this might not be robots, because I think it's got X here, so it sort of might be part of a larger something. Let's put people in. I think this might be one big word. Having said that, there's not much else I can put in here, so maybe not. I'm certain my translation for robots is right now. Good. And I was happy with that, because I thought these symbols remind me of my translation for welcome. It's not often she says something like that, is it? We did robots, I mean, just really recently. And the way we passed it out made sense to me. So I'm glad that all worked out. Like, it felt good. Sometimes you do a translation of a word and you're kind of grasping at straws and being like, it's a little bit like this. No. Illumination. Maybe it means, maybe it means C. Maybe it means whatever. But robots, it was like, okay, if this means device and this sort of means it, and this is a kind of a person-y kind of thing, then robots. That was, just to reiterate 10 minutes ago or whatever. This is interesting, because it's sort of like the little pronoun bucket. But if this is possibly greet, so maybe this is kind of like it's like an empty pronoun thing. Like greet is to say to someone, to itself. Any other alternatives? Itself people. Honest people? That's weird, isn't it? Maybe no people. What do we think this one is? Oh. I've seen a few similar words for this before. This is weird. She wasn't doing this before. She wasn't saying, like, she would just bring up the similar words. She wouldn't comment on it as she did it. Anyway. Find. I wish I understood what this meant. Something people. So it's going to be a word like wanted or feared. I don't think something people cool. It's passive or past tense. Find. I think maybe feared. It's got this kind of negativeness to it. So what if it's like find in a... Wanted. Feared. Okay, what else we got? What else we got? Okay, kind of going. Okay, so we've got a bigger verb. We've got a verb here. Place, but not something. Related to going. So we're doing a place, not going. Could this be return? How about people feared robots return? Are not? Are not is an interesting one. I don't think it is, because I don't think that would make any sense. But are not people feared robots return? Greet. Greet. If this means honest, then this would be like... Why do we think this is greet? It doesn't make any sense as greet. Why? I speak for greet? That makes no sense. I speak for... Ugh, awful. Awful. I speak for... Silent? Yeah, maybe this isn't... Maybe this is an empty... It's a bowl of emptiness, so you speak nothing. I speak for silent. Therefore, this is going to be no. This is going to be empty, like not. Now to work out what the other words mean. Yep. It's interesting. It's reordered these. So I'm going to say no. If this is a negative thing, it's not negative. It's empty. It's an empty bowl. It means no, like nothing. No. So we're going to say no people wanted the robots return or feared the robots return. How do they feel about robots here? Did they bury all the robots? I'm going to say wanted. Does no people wanted robots return make sense? I wonder what that really tells us about the Empire. Nothing, mistress. Any scribe can lie. That's a good point. I'm no historian, but you have to, bear that in mind. I'm trying to walk around while I'm holding a cup of tea. Okay, let's go to this chair. How do we get... This place must have been fine once, mistress. The scale of the construction suggests opulence. Even if not as much as one might expect from a palace. Reply. And yet this place seems like it was always empty. Okay, can we look at this chair now? Stool, sorry. Someone leapt up in a hurry, I suppose. You can't tell that from a stool. And it looks like they dropped something. Go on. Here, in the crack between the stones. A shard from a belt knife. Dating from the Steel Empire. Mistress, there is blood on the blade. Not much, but some. Human blood? Indeed, mistress. It is Ioxian blood. Wow, you're good at knowing your blood. You can tell where blood comes from. Only blood from Iox. Evidently, it is a particularly insular community. Whoever made this didn't add an inscription on the blade. Oh, it's me talking. And now the music's kicking off. Most likely this comes from the same place as the oil burner and the sculpture. So someone from Iox came here. Or someone who stabbed someone on Iox came here. It must be common to move between the two sites. This will make it easier to locate. Right, what are we saying here? A shard of blade is cast. So it's a Steel Empire blade. And when we refer to Iox, do we mean new Iox? Interesting. And so what do we think? What have we narrowed down? This, maybe? I'm not entirely sure what she meant. Okay. What else we got before we go to the window again? Just want to make sure I've seen everything. Another book. See, you need to keep checking. All right, another few lines. Ooh, it's a tasty one. This one is several words. Lots and lots to do. Okay. Timey-wimey. We think the olive is time-related. Now, do we have that particular phrase? No. So it's a connection of never, something to do with you, and then will. Never you will. I'm going to stick those in. I don't think that's right. I think I've got a feeling this entire block is going to be one word, but let's just stick it in. Okay, this is door, but it's got the colon, so actually I think this is the whole word. Do we have anything for that? Yes, we do. Starlight. Why do we think it was starlight? We've got find. Never will you find the temple and starlight. Mistress, that translation is clearly incorrect. There must be another phrasing. Right, what do we think? So never's wrong, yeah. So let's do everything except this beginning bit. So let's go to find. Yep. And let's go to temple. Well, let's shove the and in. I still think this is a phrase that means you will never, but starlight. There we go. Okay, well, I'm going to shove find in then, I guess. I mean, will. What do we cross out? I believe you can be confident of your translation for temple now, mistress. That's good, because I think we've had temple for a long time. Okay. And this is actually not you, it's I. It's not, it doesn't mean I, but it's sort of related to the concept of I-ness. I meaning me. I, me, myself. So it's sort of like never myself. Never myself. Only. And everything else we've got, right? last? Never me, last? City doesn't make any sense. Okay, me and this. So it's sort of... So what I'm getting from the bowl with a P in it, this symbol, is it's the concept of right here. It's me, it's this, it's now. Because it's the time that's right here. It's now. Now, I don't understand. Now, the rest of the sentence doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense. I'm going to double check Starlight. I'm going to click on doors and see if she has anything to say about doors. Sometimes she feels confident about it. Doors. Oh, she's saying something. This was the last place I saw that word. They've started commenting more on word choices. Now to work out what the other words mean. Yeah. Okay, let's go for it. Let's go for what we've got so far. Now we'll find the temple and Starlight. It doesn't quite make sense as a sentence though, does it? But let's go with it. I liked the idea of it being the time of right here. Hopefully that makes sense, the way I'm describing the construction of that little phrase, that little word. And there's an upstairs which we could go to, but let's... Oh, off she goes. Maybe there's a way through across the roof. No, I don't want to do that yet. Mistress, please do not plummet anywhere. No, I want to go down again. I want to try the key, which probably won't work, and then the knife. So let's try the key. We think the key's for the ancient library, though. Doesn't fit. No, this isn't the right library. That's fine. That's what I thought. Even if this is a library. Pry the door with the iron poker. Yes, let's do that. Poker. Oh, fuck. That was so loud. That scared the bejesus out of me. On we go. We're back in the... Here. Okay, great. Oh, an inscription. It was all worth it. Jeez. And a little one this time. Okay. All right. This one is a fracture piece from an even longer phrase. Okay. Right. Starlight again. This is a new Starlight for us. This could be the Starlight that sells it. And I think this is an entire thing, isn't it? Emperor's Starlight. I mean, I don't like that as a phrase at all. But let's see. I don't think she's going to like Starlight. Isn't the right phrase for Starlight after all. Maybe gate then. There's a lot going on. Okay, so it's related to... This is how I read the colon part of a constructed word. It means it's relating to this thing. So it's relating to doors. This right hand is doors. And we feel okay about doors. And this is an adjective. It's a noun of an adjective of... Veriness. So it's sort of like big doors. So let's go for gate. Emperor's Gate. Emperor's Gate. That will do for now. But not Emperor Singles Gate. Emperor Plurals Gate. I don't believe that word was marked as a possessive. Oh, right. So this place did belong to one emperor alone. Good. Good. We're thinking the same. I was like, when did this open? And I realised I was looking the wrong way. Okay, let's go back. Mistress, I do not wish to alarm you, but I'm sure I heard something moving nearby. Okay, but I am alarmed, so... What about that? What's happening here? How do we get in here? What is happening? Oh, okay. No, we are on the other side of the gate. I see. We came in through there. Right, sorry, I got my geography all mixed up. So I'm going to go over the top. I'm going to go up these stairs first. I don't know why. I just fancy doing this all. We'll go everywhere. I don't want to miss anything. All right, any books in here? It says papers on the floor. No books to look at. No, don't go downstairs. Oh my god, it's a strange game this because it's mistress. What? Well, tell me later. You can move around as you like most of the time. Sometimes the game takes over for you, and like, I think when the game assumes you're trying to travel from one point to another point on the map, it'll just take over. Sort of seamlessly, but in a way that's not intuitive to me. I have no control. Like once she starts going down the stairs, I cannot stop her, and I don't know why necessarily it won't just let me walk down the stairs myself. It's sort of this kind of like halfway house between, you know, being fully directed yourself, being able to move around as you wish, and being a point and click where it just goes where you ask it to. Anyway. Let's look at these papers. Let's see if I can get anything out of this one. Oh, it's a nice long one. It's a nice long one, but it's not completely mad in terms of the characters. It's interesting how much language and meaning we can get out of actually quite a small selection of characters. And I say that knowing that, you know, I speak English and we have a Roman alphabet and there's 26 characters. If you don't count upper and lowercase, but that's not a phonetic system, but it's an out. They're constructing the sounds of the words, whereas these are all meaningful. Each of these little symbols has a meaning attached. So it's almost like we are, instead of these being letters, they're just little, what do you call them? There must be a word in grammar, but like the little meaning bits of words. So you know when you look at etymology of words, like how the word derived meaning, and you sort of can split it up into certain parts. Like, I'm trying to think of a word I actually know. Like dinosaur, right? Dinosaur, when you split it up into its parts, it means like terrible lizard, right? That's what those. Or tyrant lizard or something. Or maybe that's what Tyrannosaurus means. Either way, you know, the saw part means lizard and the dino part means terrible lizard. And there's lots of words like epidermis means something. Lots of medical words are actually like that. You can just pull them apart and each part of the word means something. That's more like this, where, you know, this might mean dino and this might mean saw. When you put them together, they mean dinosaur. And it's actually those little chunks of meaning. We haven't got loads and loads of them. We've got quite a lot, but not loads, and we're actually able to express quite a lot. Obviously, it's quite a narrow section of a language because it's all talking about similar things. We're talking about kind of grand locations and people. So it's emperors, it's graveyards, it's thrones. We haven't had the word for throne yet, but it's that kind of thing. It's a palace, it's death, it's life, it's ordering, it's listening. So it's, you know, we're not going to be able to like have a fluent conversation in this language with what we know, but we can express already quite a lot. I just thought it was interesting. Anyway, I think this is temple. Oh no, it's empire. It's like the big one, right? Empire. Will, maybe. Yeah, I think it's will. Emperor will. I think this is not go. So maybe stay if we don't have Do we have that yet? We don't have this yet, interestingly. I think this is going to be... I think this is going to be stay. Right, what else we got? Is this forever? Time in a circle? I can't remember. I feel like we'd sort of broached that before. And... have we not got any of this middle bit? We can do that, but I think that's going to be connected to... I swear we had something that meant forever that was either this or this. What am I missing here? What am I not putting in that I should have put in? Okay, I'm going to put in the all. What am I missing? What have I not put in? I think I've put in something I shouldn't have, and now it's not going to be satisfied until I shove everything in. So let's do that. And it's going to be like, no, you're an idiot. All right, forget that then. Emperor will, does, and all. Yeah, it's too much for her. She can't figure it out. We had this place down as an empire site. So it's good to confirm that at least. Okay, anything behind the door? Let's go outside and have a look. So we're now looking...
A circle of stone gods staring each other down. Each one daring the others to blink first.
One I know, but 5 I don't. Timor always told me there were 7 ancient gods. Though where he got that from, I have no idea. So we can go up. Let's just check all of the walls for inscriptions. Something in the sand. There's something here, almost completely buried. A tall brass lantern, dating from the Steel Empire. And I say it was a miner's lantern, judging by the sturdiness of it. I found an inscription on the base. Okay, so it's a lantern, a miner's lantern. This one is a phrase run together. So it's a whole phrase. Nothing about illumination from our original studies. I love for now. Okay, stop moving. I love for now. And then something else. Oh, my translation now has to be a mistake. Damn it, I loved my translation for now. You know... never... Oh, actually... it does have the X on it, doesn't it? We didn't count for the X. Only? Never... never here. Last? Only? It's not city. Okay, ignoring that for now. I love for only... so it's a path, but a path of time. Time. I love for only time. I love for last time. I love for only time. I don't get it. I'm going to say only. But I'm not... I don't get it. Does I love for only time work? Huang will be able to help me. That is true. We can always go back to Huang. I think this comes from the same place as the shard of blade I found here earlier. This should make the Steel Empire site easier to find. We are really shrinking that Steel Empire site. Right, anything else? I love it out here. Some people live and die on Iox. They never see anything. Okay, any inscriptions on the wall? At least the wind isn't blowing us to death in this, I guess, cul-de-sac. Okay, I can't see anything moving out here. So let's go up another level, I guess. Yeah, let's stick around here and then we can go to the other side of the palace. And then we'll go out to the front or the back, whatever. That direction at the end. Right. A fallen rock from up there. I'm glad I wasn't standing near when that came down. Palace is pretty sturdy though. It hasn't gone through. Inscriptions. No, okay. Let's go in here. Okay. A table set for a meeting. Looks like it ended in an argument. Could have been moments ago. The eagle and the sun. That dates this site beautifully. Go on. Go on. You can't expect to remember enough to... Ew. Okay. Well, you're not going to explain yourself? Fine. Keep your secrets. Okay, anything around the outside? Chair on the floor, book on the floor. Anything out the front? What do we think? Some kind of theatre? Some kind of devotional space? Hi, Six. Oh, we're moving him. Okay. Okay, no inscriptions above the wall. Let's go out this side then. Something wedged in the stone. Go on. A chip figurine carved from stone. Looks like it dates from the Steel Empire. Oh, we've seen this god before. On the Dome Market Moon where Amir had been stranded. I don't know what he's meant to be. And there's some carved characters in ancient script on his head. Okay. This is the start of a fragment of text. Okay. This down arrow we're not sure about. Fair. I don't know why we thought it was fair. Plant. Well, I'm pretty happy to shove in. Wow, is that all we're going to do? Okay, I can add my translation for fair to my dictionary now. That's good. That's good. I can't remember why we thought it was fair. Okay, this is all one word. We thought that might be ground. Any thoughts about ground? Ground is for cowards. When did we write that down? Okay, she doesn't feel any more confident about ground than I do. Than she did before. Something is... Yeah. Now to work out what the other characters mean. Okay, if this is ground, maybe they are it. Maybe it's a mine? A serpent stays close to the ground. What do we think this is? Yeah, it's very similar to Endless. Always. I think always makes sense. It's very close to endless, but it means it's an adverb, I think. Yes, it is. I'm going to go with it. Something is always fair. So what is always fair? What is always fair? Ground, build, serpent. It's a chipped figurine. Mine is always fair. I don't like mine. Oh, it could be mine. Building in the ground. Build, serpent. Let's go with this. I don't like mine, but none of the words I liked, really. I can still change my mind, but mine is always fair. I'll ask Juan to have a look when I get to Iox. Yeah, it's good to pay him a visit. I'd hazard that this comes from the same site as the Lantern and the Shard of Blade. We've got a lot of information on the Steel Empire site now. This will make the site easier to locate. Okay. The Narrow God from the Domed Market Moon. Okay, that must have been the big statue that we saw there. Okay, we've done upstairs. We could go down here. But I'm going to go down this way and go past 6 and go in through the bottom and then work my way back up again. Whoops. I think that feels, I don't know, better to me somehow. I'm doing this all wrong. 6, I'm coming down. Hello. Mistress. Question. How old would you say this site is, exactly? I would date it back to the very first days of the Holy Empire, Mistress. Probably constructed during the reign of the first Empress herself. Cool. Right, we're going out there last. Right. Now this is the room we glimpsed through the blocked door. Okay, well there is a massive thing there then. Whoops, I clicked on the wrong thing. Question. Oh, no. If this place was built for robots, why are there so many stairs? Reply. I don't know. It's strange, I agree. Okay, another book. Okay, so the bookcase fell over and blocked the door. Okay, that's fair enough. The remains of a fire. Somebody huddled here to keep warm. Burned what they could find. Books, most likely. Well, thank God there's still loads of books left. What have we got? This is a scratched, crude rock hammer. I'd estimate it dates from the Steel Empire. This is mining equipment. How did this come to be here? The handle looks like it's something, something, something. This is broken off. All right. Time. Wow, there's not a lot to go on, is there? This is all like fragments of words. Let's go in time. And that's probably it, isn't it? I believe you're correct with time, mistress. Good, because we've been using it. All right, if this is prospered, then this starts very similar to prosper, doesn't it? And then this is a noun of a verb. So how is this different to prospered? Instead of it being people going towards shininess, and we don't know how good we feel about prospered. Ugh. Prospered, bright of sun. That's awful, isn't it? Why do we think it's sun? A place of shiny roundness, I think. It could be peace. Prospered. Find. Towards. The law of the empire. Prospered, bright of sun. That's awful as a sentence. I don't think it's going to be prospered because it doesn't have the little symbol on it. Let's go for shines. Shines bright. Sure. Okay, so maybe this means shine now. Idea? I can't move these along. Believe. Idea. It's a verb. Shining. Drown. This comes up in the life and death symbols. Believe in time. Drown in time. Idea in time. Yeah, believe in time. I don't like it, but I can run it past Wang later. Yeah, we're going to have to run a lot past Wang, I'll tell you that. Now, I'd hazard this comes from the same source as the chip figurine and the lantern. This will make a Steel Empire site easier to locate. I think the Steel Empire site is like as small as it's going to get. So, as I said before, maybe it's a bit smaller. I think we're now just eliminating yellow dots that we might find when we get there. Question. Did the first Empress who declared herself Oli, did she believe in the elder gods? Did she still fear them? And if you're not going to answer, I'll just look at this book. Now, here's some more symbols. Oh god, we've got to end this episode. This one is several words. And they're all shit words. Okay. B. Via. Can. Get rid of via. I'm sure my translation for can is correct now. I'll tell you why I did that. Because, well, as we've seen, I can't show you the via bit now, but it looked like it was a bigger word, like it was a combined word, and it was. Okay. Timey passive doing. Timey passive doing. Okay, past tense. So the time past does. I don't think it does not. So it could be past, actually. The past can be something, something, something. Let's try that. In fact, let's just go back a minute. Let's just go back. Let's just go back. What are we connecting it to? So it's a little bit like should, but with this passive marker in it. Or past tense marker in it. Having said that, I think past, in terms of how this sentence is structured, is the only thing that makes sense to me. Okay. So we've got the... Yeah. Okay. So this is find, but with the passive past tense marker in it. So I think it's found. I feel like I've misunderstood the passive thing now. Was it a different symbol? Because all it's done this episode has been a past tensifier. Found. Past can be found. That makes sense. It's like a historian motto. Past can be found. If only we could read the old volume. If only we could. Sit down, Six. Thank you. All right. That seems a reasonable place to leave it for now. Thank you for watching this episode. We've got more of the Withering Palace to explore. Lots and lots of translations to be getting on with. I don't know how well we're doing on the translations. They're quite tricky and they're quite missing in a lot of detail. So we've done a bunch of translating today that I've been unsure about, but we have still been nailing things in. But there's been a lot of her saying, I should really go to Huang. I should really go to Huang. Huang could help me with this. If only Huang were here. So yeah, a little bit concerned that Six heard someone scuttling about, but we'll deal with that maybe next episode. So we're going to go up this side of the house or the palace, and then we're going to go out the front and see what's going on with those statues. Maybe we can actually interact with them. Cool. Okay, plenty to be getting on with. Hopefully I'll see you there in the next episode. Thanks for watching. This is a lot of intriguing fun. And I'd love you to be there for the next one. Bye-bye for now.